There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000 channels or expand one single image to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. We will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the deepest inner mind to the outer limits.
Our story resumes in the aftermath of our last encounter. Lucifer emerged from the depths of the Bay River, clutching the demiurge blade tightly in his hand, unaffected by the water that soaked him to the bone. This remarkable blade possessed the extraordinary ability to manipulate the elements, allowing Lucifer to swiftly dry himself with a combination of scorching heat and powerful gusts of wind. As he settled back into his elegant attire, a demon descended gracefully from the heavens, landing before him with reverence. "Great Dark Master, we have anxiously awaited your return for millennia." The demon spoke with utmost respect. "Many had begun to doubt your existence, as the holiest beings promised your arrival before the time of the great judgment, when the true culprits would be unveiled." Intrigued, Lucifer raised an eyebrow, pointing the tip of his blade suspiciously towards the demon. "And who might you be?" "Your name seems to have slipped my memory," he said with a hint of curiosity. "I am Nefret, Lord of the Gargoyles. I perished during the catastrophic flood and was bestowed this form for the sole purpose of seeking revenge against the Most High for the annihilation of our kind." The demon introduced himself. Lucifer's curiosity piqued even further. "That is indeed peculiar. I have no recollection of such an event," he remarked, his gaze fixed upon Nefret. The demon's delight was evident. "Truly, you are the fallen one returned, just as the demon lords of that ancient conflict had prophesied long ago." Nefret proceeded to enlighten Lucifer about the events that unfolded after his expulsion from heaven. God had undergone a profound transformation, no longer the benevolent creator, but a bitter and vengeful figure. Every trace of Lucifer's existence had been meticulously erased from heaven's records, and any acknowledgement of his being was strictly forbidden. Those who dared defy this decree faced divine wrath, being mercilessly struck down from the heavens by bolts of lightning and deafening thunder, their once majestic wings ruthlessly stripped away. All those who had once served under Lucifer's command were exiled, while his most loyal angels were banished to earth, stripped of their physical forms and destined to tend to specific domains until the end of time. Uriel was the first to be cast down, and it was decreed that if Lucifer ever returned, he would be condemned to hell, forever serving as its dark and tormented keeper. Samael and Azazel, both formidable beings, were later apprehended, each facing their own unique and cruel punishments. Samael was banished to an alternate mirror universe, eternally isolated and unable to wage war on heaven, only able to witness events through a distorted reflection. Azazel, on the other hand, was condemned to an existence of perpetual darkness, eternally shunned from God's divine light, cursed with an insatiable thirst for conflict and war, causing all those around him to despise or oppose him. The remaining angels were relentlessly hunted down by the archangels, their once harmonious existence shattered by the very beings they had served so faithfully. Intrigued by Nephrit's vast knowledge, Lucifer turned to him, his eyes gleaming with a thirst for divine retribution. "Tell me more about this war in heaven," he requested, his voice filled with a mix of intrigue and smoldering anger. The demon grinned, recognizing Lucifer's unyielding desire for justice. "You truly long for God's wrath to be unleashed upon me, fallen morning star? Very well. The war began in the wake of the catastrophic flooding of the Old Kingdom, claiming not only my life, but the lives of all who resided there. God claimed it was necessary due to the children you and your fellow fallen angels had fathered with mortal women. He considered their power a threat to his creation. However, we, the fallen ones, saw it as an expression of love and appreciation, not worship. Our true transgression rose from our compassion towards these innocent children. We hid them and aided their escape from the angels, guiding them through treacherous forests and tumultuous seas. It was during their arduous journey at sea that the floodwaters surged forth, ravaging the surface of the earth. When the children returned, accompanied by Samael and Azazel, they brought both darkness and salvation. I, too, awoke from death, neither fully alive nor dead, bearing the appearance you now see. Fallen morning star, it was the unspeakable atrocities committed by God's command that led the other angels to rebel against him. He claimed it was for the sake of protecting his creation, but they had committed no wrong. He condemned them, just as he condemned you for sins you had yet to commit. Lucifer brooded over Nephrit's words, lost in contemplation of the gradually illuminating dawn. Lucifer pivoted towards the demon, his curiosity piqued. "Hold on," he addressed the demon. "You mentioned that God condemned me for sins I had not yet committed. What do you mean?" The demon's unease became palpable, his gaze darting towards the ascending sunlight. "I must depart, my lord, for the sun rises, and soon I shall petrify, cursed by the daylight." Acknowledging the demon's plea, Lucifer dismissed him, allowing him to resume his tasks, all the while seeking a secure haven where he could bide his time until dusk. Finding a means of transportation, Lucifer managed to return to the bustling city and retreated to his abode. After the tumultuous encounter with Uriel during the preceding night, he desperately yearned for repose. Upon crossing the threshold, he discerned the presence of an unfamiliar figure, poised before him, even before he fully opened the door. Calm yourself, Lucifer. I harbor no ill intentions," the man offered, attempting to assuage Lucifer's mounting apprehension. However, Lucifer, swift and decisive, had already unsheathed his blade, preemptively demanding answers. "Who are you, and what is your purpose?" he demanded, his eyes fixed upon the enigmatic figure, shrouded beneath a long, hooded robe. The man appeared somewhat taken aback by Lucifer's lack of vigilance, as if expecting him to be more astute. "Do you not recognize me?" The man stood confidently, a wicked grin etched upon his face. Lucifer simply shrugged and retorted, "Perhaps you could be mistaken for a decrepit old man, maybe Mr. Rogers' evil uncle, or better yet, Jafar's parole officer. I've seen the movie, but I haven't come across any sinister old men obsessed with genie lamps and talking parrots." "You know," the hooded man remained unamused, his expression unchanged. After a prolonged silence, he finally spoke. "No, but that association is surprisingly accurate. I am Tammuz, the unholy monk from the Book of the Damned. Your book. You once cursed me, binding me to this undead state. I have become a ghoul, forced to obey your every command. In each of your reincarnations, I have presented you with this grimoire right before your most dire moments, and now a storm is brewing. Your encounter with Uriel last night was not an isolated event. Reports of supernatural conflicts have emerged worldwide. In Italy, 2 individuals engaged in a battle that culminated in a blinding flash, leaving only scorched outlines where their bodies once stood. In Pakistan, what was believed to be a rebel uprising turned out to be an onslaught of the undead, seeking retribution against the oppressive militia factions. The religious accounts of the past have been tampered with, their truths obscured, all in anticipation of the impending final conflict. A corruption within the United Nations seems to be responsible for this. The world's religious leaders suspect the emergence of the Antichrist, and once they discover your true identity, they will hunt you down, just as they did in the Dark Ages, wielding torches and pitchforks, desperate to save themselves from what is to come. You will require this." Tammuz handed Lucifer a large, tawny brown book, its pages crudely stitched together. As Lucifer reached out to take the book, a large eye opened on its cover, darting nervously in every direction. A searing heat surged through Lucifer's body, prompting him to scream. "What is happening?" The monk seemed unperturbed. "It is searching. It seeks the mark of the child of abomination, the key that belongs to the author of this book alone." The fiery sensation ceased upon reaching Lucifer's birthmark, and suddenly the eye closed, and the book flew open. Tammuz's eyes gleamed with delight. "Excellent. You are not a mere impostor like the Merovingians or Rosicrucians. You are the true Dark Lord. Welcome back." The eye in the book emitted a bolt of electricity, causing Lucifer's eyes to briefly glow. The monk stood poised, anticipating a counterattack. "So, my lord, what shall you do with your newfound power?" Lucifer smiled at the monk. "Come, suffer with me." In an instant, they found themselves standing on a cliff overlooking a beach. The monk looked around, puzzled. "Are we in the hills of Scotland?" Lucifer laughed. "Not even close. We are near the coast of Vancouver, but not in the same year we once knew." We have traveled back to 2004. Watch this. Lucifer extended his finger, releasing a surge of energy that struck the water, causing it to boil and form a dark, ominous mass. This is the aftermath of the Exxon Valdez oil spill. They claim to have cleaned it all up, but the truth is far worse. The chemicals used to remove the oil are accumulating and will lead to the desalination of the oceans, disrupting the natural currents and ultimately causing the destruction of the planet's ecological balance. Previous catastrophic events allowed life to rebound over time, but this time it won't recover. So, I have come to breathe life into mankind's greatest sin upon this earth. With a wave of his hand, Lucifer summoned a surge of energy that enveloped the pool of black sludge. Rise, my beast, and exact revenge for their sins upon this world. I shall name you Sin. The oil transformed into a colossal whale-like creature, its size shifting at will. It turned and began its journey westward, into the depths of the ocean. The monk inquired, "Where is it heading?" Lucifer, wearing a wicked smile, responded, "Where else but Indonesia? It is time for God's wrath to befall mankind's arrogance." Lucifer gazed towards the heavens and declared, "Thy will shall be done." And with that, the two vanished from sight. The end of all things had begun.